Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Today is Friday Live, and normally is a free service. I start with a team. You guys join me, and then if you have questions or a request for healing or anything, we'll get those through the live in whatever order they come through, and using the guidance that can come through not only the live language but also our intuition, maybe through the words. And I do have this candle here that I put it so it can enhance whatever intentions we have for today. And it is my intention that anything that comes through, it is for the highest and only if it's for the highest good for all. I would like to ask all of your higher selves to guide me, to speak through me, my eyes, my feelings, my decisions, my intuition, and my higher self to be in charge and put it all aside so it can be a clear channel for unconditional love and pure source consciousness. And I adjusted the sound system. Please, you guys, let me know if the sound, the volume, it's good, or I need to adjust it again with a like or an emoji. Let me know how are you feeling. We just had the solstice last Tuesday, and I wanted to open with the theme of portals, gateways. What are they, and what do we need to know whenever there is a portal like the one we had this last Tuesday, that it was the solstice. And I'm gonna wait a little bit just to see if I can read the comments here. But if the sound is good, can you guys please just put a like or a comment, because I adjusted. And if you have questions, please type those, and I'm going to do my best as soon as I can. I think the sound must be good. Is it? I'm not seeing anything that says it is not. Okay, so let's begin there. So while you guys type your questions for your guides, and the more specific the question, the better the answer it is. If you actually do your question with a bit of story, it's better for me to connect with you, because I'm just seeing the names, so I can bring the more specific guidance. If you ask something like, message for me please, maybe that's too general and it won't be that personalized, but it depends to you. So what is a gateway and what is a portal? We have gateways and portals is actually the same thing, the same thing. Some people call them also vortices, vortex, stargates. It's all the same thing. It's an opening of energy that begins with an intention. This is the way that I understand it. What does that mean, Gretel? Well, we do have collective some gateways that we're all in agreement in this timeline in humanity that are going to be gateways for all of us to receive something, like for example the solstice, the equinox, an eclipse, moonlight, full moon, new moon, etc., etc. Or if we're going to have a meteor or certain planetary conjunction, those are collective agreements that at our higher levels we have already set to let us know maybe where we are to astrology, maybe through numerology, a little bit of a cue about my life purpose and mission, or things like that. That at a personal level, we all have a bunch of gateways and vortices that are being open and closed naturally all the time. I remember I was very new at this, and then I don't remember his name, because actually I kind of disagree with him, so I leave his Facebook. And I joined his Facebook because he was talking about how to teach people to astral travel. I was going astral traveling, but like blindly. I wouldn't see anything, and then it freaked me out. So I remember that one day he says that chakras do not exist, and I was just like, of course they exist. I learned that in Reiki, and our ancient civilizations, they tell us about 7 chakras that we have. It's proof, dude, so I leave. But now I understand what he meant, and this is what I think he meant. We are a bunch of chakras. We don't have 7, and actually the root chakra, the way that it looks when I see an aura during a healing, or that I see in myself or in the person's side, sometimes it opens for a reason due to the job that I have. The root chakra will be the whole of us, will be our body, our space. I'm not sure if that happens to you, but like for me, I don't like strangers to touch me. Like if I am in a very big place with a lot of people and they kind of like jump on me, I'm just like, oh, back off, right? It's kind of like part of my personality, because then I can feel someone else's space in me, and I'm very selective. So this is kind of where it begins. Kind of the root chakra, it's all around us, and then we have many ripple vortices or gateways that expand. I think our ancient ancestors put us in this order because it's how they align with the intention that's opening that vortice or wheel, spinning wheel, that you can also describe the chakras. But we don't have only this. We can have many. You have in your hands, you have in your feet, you have in your knees, you have in your back, you have in your wings. If you do lots of angels, like in this part, maybe you can have 15 chakras all around that looks like wings if you are doing a lot of angels. If you're channeling, sometimes you have like 55 chakras right here, gathering information. So we do all that. And what if I'm talking with an stranger, let's say, that I was in a line waiting for some government procedure, and then I'm waiting and waiting, and then something got into my place, and then I got upset because I said, hey dude, I'm waiting for you for an hour, you just come, this is my place. Maybe I can say that. Well, at that moment, I'm gonna open a portal that won't come from alignment, because obviously I'm upset, and my energy will attack that person will attack me back, and then we're gonna go and destroy each other. And normally when we have things like that, we feel both drained. I don't know if that has happened to you, but when you are gonna fight or a disagreement, especially with someone you love, the more you love that person, the more draining it is. Yes? Because what if someone out of the blue comes where you are and says, let's say that someone knocks your door and said, you know what, Guido, I'm not talking to you ever, ever, ever again. I'm done with you. I'm done. This is it. I'm cutting cords. I'm canceling contracts. You will no longer know anything about me. And I'm going to be like, dude, I don't know you, so maybe that wouldn't affect me. But what if that person is my mom or my son or someone that I love? Maybe I will feel affected, and then I will say something like, but what I did wrong, what's happening, we could talk about it, etc., etc. So every time we talk, we open a portal. Every time we listen, every time we receive, every time we exchange, when we eat, we are having portals connecting to, let's say that I'm a vegan person, with the plant kingdom, because I receive their consciousness, and then they're going to receive mine. If I'm enjoying, I don't know, a bowl of broccoli and spinach soup or something, but if I'm eating meat, red meat, I'm going to connect it to the consciousness of the animal kingdom, and then maybe I need it because I'm an athlete, and then I need a lot of protein, and then whatever my consciousness stream will be exchanged through meat or the water or the air or the space. Yes, I hope that makes sense. And I don't know if you guys have any questions. So, we open portals when we meditate, when you pray, when you do mantras, when you set an intention, because as I said at the beginning, a vortex, it will begin with a intention. Maybe my intention it is to do a first service today, so I open the whole portal and I have my guys and your guys, and then we're all going to gather and have fun, hopefully, and get our answers more clarified from our guys, maybe the questions that we have or anything. So this isn't something that comes natural for us. It isn't something that you have to worry about it. There is no procedure that you have to follow. Only be present and aware, follow your intuition. If you are in a hospital and then maybe you saw or sense some dead people or ghosts or sadness or anything, of course, because it's the place that you are on. Vortices, when you reject a connection, what I see is that part between whoever is trying, let's say that someone is in love with me. That happened a few months ago. I had someone that he was a fan and he was in love with me and he was insistent that I was its own twin flame, and I said, no, I have mine. We can be friends, but I'm not in love with you. I don't feel attracted. Well, that person insisted and insisted and insisted until I had to block it, right? When I block it, I realized that because the connection was cut, that part died. And then it is what I think we call entities, because our attachments, they are not necessarily being born with soul. They are dark entities that they have soul, but this is the one that are in the higher dimensions, like 5th or 6th dimension. Above that, those entities will split from a God person like you and I. That's what I have seen. If I'm upset because someone has stolen my spot on the line, then a part of me, if I didn't say it, because maybe that person is frightened or something, then a part of me that wanted to fight or speak out or send something is going to die. Kind of like when you cut a flower from the plant, and then it's alive for 4 days maybe, and then it dries because you cut it from the source. This is how we create entities. They split from us because we couldn't integrate with divine neutrality, whatever happened. If I was assaulted twice, when someone has trauma because you were assaulted, because someone robbed you, house were on fire, anything like, of course you're gonna get frightened or sad or feel injustice or whatever. Then in those occasions, maybe we split many aspects of us because they kind of chain and find in the energy like to alike. Yes? That's why sometimes we manifested events that are in sequence alike, and it's to redo a situation that you wanted to find a new experience. I hope that makes sense. But I can explain that in another thing, so I don't expand it. And if you have your questions, type those in, and then I can get those from you guys. So what do you do, and how this information can be helpful for me, Gretel? It can be helpful because if you want to manifest, if you have an idea that is something that you haven't been able to figure out, you can open a portal and then stream energy from the source so things align and find its own harmony between your intention and the flow that will be the consequence from that ripple intention that was initiated by you, right? Like, for example, when you do a crystal grid, when you request a healing, you can do a code and put an intention, like, let's say that you want to purchase a new house. Okay, new house, as I said, universe, and put in my desire. I'm going to put a candle, like the one I put right here. This is a portal. When we do those things, we open a portal because we bring the light. And if you don't put the intention, you will have the intention for whoever it is streaming strong around the space where you are. Now, when we have knowledge about how energy works, we begin to be more responsible about the energy that we put into the world. And at the same time, how we can shift it into a place that feels better and better and better. This is something that we're all learning. It isn't about to be living in a bubble of rainbows and unicorns. It's about that life feels the majority of the time good. So if you feel that you are in a place where the energy feels low, then open your crown, beam light, bring that out, ask for rectification, harmonize all that it is around, and that is going to soften that experience. There is like 1 or 2 seconds that we can get between choices and decisions, and normally we can simplify 2 things: alignment or disalignment, harmony or disharmony. Maybe if I'm putting the same example about me waiting in the line for an hour, someone getting my place, if I said, okay, higher self, calm, what do I need to do? I don't like this. I honestly don't like this. I want to kick that asshole or whatever. And maybe I can take time. I could go ahead and fight with it. I can file a complaint. I can scream at that person and take it away and say, oh, this is my spot. And then fight. And maybe I can say, okay, I'm not going to do that to me because I will damage my auras. Maybe I'm just going to let it be. 5 minutes or 10 minutes of waiting in the line, it's not worth it to damage my own thing. Yes? And I think this will be the free will as the choice that we do about how we embrace those things. At some point, being in the fight or being upset or setting boundaries is a sign of lucidity and is a sign of balance. In another's, letting go and saying, you know what, not today. It's a sign that you are in your own element, and it's a sign that you are in charge of how you want your day to be. But we normally fluctuate with both, okay? Use your intuition, trust what feels like that you should do, and again, type your questions if you have. The more specific your question, and if you share a little bit of background about why you're asking that question, I can bring you guys, and then we can go with the flow. Or questions about portals. Is it safe to open a portal, Gretel? Yes, because if you are going to open it, you're going to set your boundaries, right? Like for example, when you do a contract because you are leasing a car. That is a contract. How much am I going to pay? How much is it the interest? How long is going to be open? So when you put an intention, you set your own boundaries. Do you want that intention for the rest of your life, 24 hours, or until you change it? It's going to depend on what rules you are setting. And this is also about being responsible for the energy that you put into your world. Not because of the world, because you are on it. Yes? This is why being aware about portals can make a shift, and it can be a tool for us to be in the flow about what feels good. Because maybe I can check the moon and I can do my ritual. Maybe I can put a candle every day. Maybe I can do my intention prayer in the morning using light language or crystals or anything that works out for me. But remember, intentions are portals or vortex we have all the time. I don't have to wait for the next equinox that's going to be 21 of September to wait for a DNA activation. What if I want to have it today? What do I need to do? Well, I need to put a meditation or set in whatever way I want to have it, or maybe pay a session with someone and have it. But there's a difference between letting life to lead whatever life thinks you should go and being in charge of the life you want to do. There are many ways, there are many techniques, there are many mindsets to do it, and portals is one. Portal, remember, it's a way to understand it, it's an intention for something you want to create, right? That comes from your conscious, that it opens the subconscious to see what it is there, what the universe has an offer. Is that intention aligned with what Gaia wants and the collective? And according to your intention and what is out there and the harmony that that intention has, it is the easiest and the fastest that that intention is going to be manifested. Also, conscious is going to have blocks and imprints, a lot of things that sometimes we're not aware we vibrate them, right? But when you dive into yourself, and this is actually the main thing I would like to do today, it is you align yourself to find those answers and find those inspirations and ideas that maybe can allow you to build and shift the life that you already have into a flow that feels better and better and better and better every day. Let me see if you have any questions. And if you do, or you want me to keep speaking, maybe we can do a light language transmission. Share with me, how was the solstice for you? How are you feeling? Where are you guys from? And let me see if I can. If I can get your questions. Or we can do a healing. I'm not seeing any questions, you guys, so maybe I can keep speaking, but if you have any questions, I will love to answer those. Maybe we can do a little bit like language transmission. Please let me know any other team that you would like me to share with you. And at the same time, I would like to invite each of you that we do have the light language radio that's being streamed 5:55 a.m. p.m. every day. And during this July, we're going to end the one that is being streamed 2:22 p.m. So we're just gonna keep the morning and night. There is healing available for you. If you would like to join us, you are welcome. You can leave your intention and request it. Well, speaking about portals, what will be the easiest way to do them? You can find a bunch of rituals in Google about ways to do it, but normally it will begin with an intention. It's good when that intention, you make it out and transform it into physical, so because you want that intention to be answered in the physical. Like, for example, let's say that you want to be rich, and then you put an intention, and then you will instantly have gold in your aura. But you said, hey God, I want to have gold in my bank account. Well, but if you do that intention in paper, and then burn it, or put a crystal, or put a code, you transform that intention into the physical. And then in whatever way works hard for you, it is the way that it's going to flow. Always use your intuition, set your boundaries, when, who can come, how long the portal is going to be open, how long the portal is going to be closed. And then it's good that you add an element that is going to amplify that intention, like a crystal, like a code, like a candle, like a language of the light, sage, or anything that you have already with you. How I move my hands. I haven't noticed that before. Okay, I have one question. Sophia, I think. Metro Eye, it's open. Good day. Are you today? Oh, good. Any message for you? Yes, Sophia. The more expand the question, the better. And if you have a story to add with that question, the more specific the answer is. But let me see what I see. Well, I don't know if you are connected or not, but it feels like you are healing, aligning, and recalibrating your divine feminine. But divine feminine, not actually that is wounded, but divine feminine that is empowered. Kind of like priestess, goddesses, a woman that is strong, and a woman in an archetype that it's equally soft and gentle, but strong and driven. I don't know if that makes sense, but whatever is happening in your life right now, it's towards that adjustment that you already haven't, and you're already in your process. Yes, I have another question. And Janet is asking, I would love to know, could be more a little bit about spiritual gifts, because I have been feeling them opening and receiving songs. Yes, it feels like, again, this is the same energy. From divine feminine, Janet, but in your case, the archetype that you have, that you're codifying within you at this moment, it's the goddess in you. And changing your body, by changing your diet, your mindset, by doing the shadow work that you have been doing lately, it is to anchor and bring into reality that very wise, stable, and high frequency wisdom that you already gained from many, many lifetimes that is available for you right now, that's being decoded within you. Yes? So the fact that you feel that those gifts are being open and closed is because of a phase of adjustment, and at the same time training within you. Like, to anchor that in the physical, it feels like you're going a little bit kind of like bouncing. It feels like back and forth, but it's more like if you are a musician and play a guitar, then you wanna would like to tone the guitar first between you before you begin to do the music. I don't know if that makes sense. So it feels like atonement. This is what the word, I'm not exactly the meaning of that, but maybe it's like the Reiki attunements, right? Okay, yes. It's kind of like decoding that through your body, emotional body, your mindset, everything. And you are like a gatekeeper for the ancient wisdom, and this is something that it's been opening, but it isn't settled yet. Like, you are in the process. It feels like maybe like another year, and it will come directly to you because it's wisdom that comes from another life. It's not actually wisdom that you will have it because of someone else has shared it with you, or read it, or learn it. It needs to come through you. So you share it in a type of spiritual practice that I think you have been seeking for, but you will know whenever it's done. It feels like more like another year for you to bake that cake. I hope that makes sense. Guys, if you have any questions from you guys, I'm here for free service. I was talking about portals. I do have a candle. If you want to type your intentions, you guys could do that. Portals are vortices that are open because of an intention that we have. We do have portals all the time. Our chakras, our meridians, our connections are portals. We do have distorted and harmonized connections that are vortices gateways for our soul and our experience to be exchanged. We have those all the time. You clear them, align them with your intentions. An intention it could be, and if you guys have any questions, please type your questions, and then I'm gonna be and do my best to share them on. And then at the end, I think I would like to do a healing like language. So any race or anything that you guys would like to hear, we can do that later. Your vortices, your meridians, this is a daily date maintaining. This is not only when you feel drained, this is meditation or prayer, contemplation, or whatever technique you do. It must be every day, and at the same time during the day, catching up with you. How do I feel? What's going on? What is that coming from? Going within, make that through your interior, and then through your interior is going to be revealed what it's been showing up in the exterior. I hope that makes sense. Let me see if I have any other question. And thank you so much. If I don't have it, okay, I have one more. Okay, I think I will do that in Spanish, and I will do that in both. Okay, the person, I'm gonna say it in both languages. Person is saying that has been having health problems in the last month and had healing before and has been very little improved. So how she can get her wellness back. I'm gonna say that in both languages, okay? So I'm gonna answer in Spanish first. La sanación puede ser instantánea siempre cuando nuestra mente y nuestro corazón, que es el mundo de las emociones, están en armonía. Algunas veces hay algunos contratos y hay algunos acuerdos que impiden que esa sanación sea en un segundo, y muchos de esos acuerdos son colectivos, como que tienes que pasar, no sé, un año haciendo dieta para adelgazar o ir al gimnasio, cuando en un segundo podemos cambiar la información y el cuerpo que tenemos. Entonces, tómate tu proceso. Voy a hacer ahorita una transmisión de lenguaje de la luz para ayudarte, pero siento que sé paciente. Sé paciente, sé paciente. Meditación diaria sigue siendo sanación. Tú puedes sanarte de forma automática, igual que algún otro sanador, pero cuando yo tuve cáncer, y después que salí el cáncer tuve un problema donde no tenía sensibilidad en las piernas por un año. Meditaba 3 veces al día por un año, y eso no solo me abrió mis regalos, sino que me sanó. Entonces, cuando tienes la creencia en tu mente de que tú puedes tener un cuerpo que se siente a gusto en tu mente, tus emociones y en la vida que tienes, es cuando empiezas a fluir, a fluir, a fluir, a fluir. Es importante que te hagas un detox para que ayudes a tu cuerpo. Ve si puedes hacer alguna dieta líquida de agua, por ejemplo, por algunas horas, meditación diaria, y busca algo que te ayude a encontrar esa motivación donde la mente cambia entre podemos estar bien a no sé cómo hacer, ¿sí? Now I'm going to say it in Spanish. This person has been struggling with health issues for a long time, doing lots of healings, and it has been very little improvement. Healing could be instant, as long as our mind and ego agrees with it, yes? When our mind and emotional body are in synchronicity, we can heal because of a meditation, or like miraculously, right? I don't know if you guys remember, but Jesus says, when someone says, "Oh Master, can you please help me because I can't see?" He will say, "You have faith." Yes, then you can see now, right? When we have faith, when we have hope, that is a motivation that shifts our mindset into all is well, I got this. Yes? We may don't know how things will unfold, but we don't need to know. We are just opening the door for divine intervention to come. And this is why meditation is important, at least for me, because it's the intimate moment for me to connect with whoever can through. Maybe I feel Pleiadian meditation, maybe I want to do angels, maybe I want to do elementals, but whatever comes through, it will be guidance, it will make me feel like a shift, and then I can be open for whatever it needs to come through. But yes, I can heal in 1 second. But what if I have agreements with my family that I needed to get through cancer, so a family lineage will learn something, and maybe my grandkid will discover the solution and the medicine of cancer or health, so not anyone else has to go through cancer or any other chronic disease before. It's important when you have something that you're going through over and over and over and over, and it doesn't seem to get a much improvement, to shift what we're doing, because obviously what we have been doing, it isn't working. So we need something that anchor that faith and hope and shift the mindset into, I got this. Yes? And when we open that, whether that is meditation, language of the light, mindfulness, becoming Christian or atheist or whatever, we have the placebo effect that we are where we're meant to be, and we have that miraculously things come to us in surprising ways. It has happened to me, and I'm sure it has happened to many of you. But at the same time, redo your agreements, the ones that you have with your soul family, vows that you did. Maybe you want to get rid of your husband because he's abusive, but what if you had 10 lives that you vowed to him? I will adore you no matter what. I'm going to die for you, right? So redo your agreements from other lifetimes. Ask divine intervention, hey, this is not working out for me. I really don't need to know how to fix it. Can you please shed light on me? I'm open to do something. But that open on a shift, a little bit of something that shift into the things we do every day is going to be the opening for divine intervention to come and for things to flow into a new direction. I know that having pain is hard, especially when we are empath. It feels deeper than people that isn't empathic. I've been there many times. I know what it feels like. It feels like your body doesn't respond to you, and it isn't the way to live, right? Waking up in pain, it isn't. For me, I was meditating 3 times a day, and when I was in pain, I had a tumor in my belly. I had cancer. It was benevolent cancer, but still hurt as hell. And then when I had the surgery, because my womb was removed, the anesthesiologist pinched my back many times, and I dropped the liquid of my spine, on my spine. And when I woke up from the surgery, I couldn't move my legs, and my body needed 10 days so I could recover the mobility. But I didn't know if I was going to walk. No one knew. It was a miracle, I think. But when I woke up, I had sensitivity in my legs for a year. I mean, I could move them, but I was numb from my, I don't know, sacral to the lower, and then meditation daily, and then every moment I feel like I was in pain helped me, because I wasn't anchored in, oh God, my knees are paining, I hurt, the thing hurt, because I needed to work and do things, right? When that happened to me, I was homeless. When I had the surgery, my family had to pay for it. I was living in my brother's home for 7 months, and then I was renting, but I was earning minimum. It wasn't enough. So I was just like bad a day, bad a penny, like probably many of you. So, and for me, I didn't have a choice to say, okay, I'm sick, I'm not going to work tomorrow, because I needed to eat, I need to pay my bills, and then I had 2 kids, and that was 7 years ago. So I said, okay, whatever, I'm just going to go for it. And every time I was feeling like losing myself, meditation. And then I remember that a year passed, and then one of my brothers said, hey girl, how are you doing with your legs? And I was just like, oh, I can feel them now. Right? So I forgot about that by taking care of whatever I could address, by being responsible of whatever was in my hands to do. And then I wouldn't worry about the other, because I was actually clueless. I feel like in the darkest night of the soul I had in my life, well, maybe the third, second darkest night of the soul, at least the third was darker, right? But sometimes when there are very, very big problems, like for me, imagine being in the hospital, and the doctor said, okay, we don't know if you are going to walk anymore or what damage it is. We just have to wait for your body to figure it out. And then I had no money, no job, 2 kids, no husband, in the hospital where family was paying for it, with my pride being in the hole. I remember that I said, okay, I give up. I didn't cry, I didn't worry, I just kind of froze in myself. I said, you know what, that's it. And then I said, okay, I cannot be lower than this. I was in hell. That, I was already seeing angels, I was already seeing things. And it was like a lot to try to figure out what to do. So I said, you know what, this is it. I'm not going to worry. I'm just if I cannot walk anymore, then so be it. Well, I will just be like that. Whatever. If I die, then so be it. I just give it up to God, because my mind wasn't able to find the solution, guys. And I know many of you maybe have been there in at some point of your life. That's why I always insist that we need community. There are points in our lives that you need the direction of someone. Imagine me talking to my brother and said, because I don't know if you guys know that I am Hansel and Gretel. So I call Hansel, that he always has been the closest brother to me. And I said, look, I don't know what to do. The doctor says I have cancer. I don't have insurance. I don't know what type of cancer is. I have no money. My marriage is a disaster. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And then he said, okay, well, I'm going to send you money. Come over. And then I was really in the hands of God and my family. Because when you are in that situation, you cannot choose what to do. You are just waiting for people to let you know what to do. And it was something that I needed to do, and I needed to go through. And I feel very, very proud of myself for where I am right now. Because after all of the things that happened to you, I was talking to a friend last week, and he was saying, oh, this has happened to me. And I was saying, me too. We were kind of like doing a competition about the horrible things that had happened to you. Also, kind of like almost every example of something bad that could happen to you in human life happened to me. And after all of that, rewinding a little bit, and then knowing where I am right now that I'm happy, that I don't have this planet anymore, that I don't have myself, that I like myself, that I like the life that I have, I feel like it was worth it. Because you kind of have the two sides of the coin about things. And when you are on a stage that you don't have a job, that you are sick, that you don't know what to do, that there are horrible things that shouldn't happen anymore, but sometimes happen, and someone help you, that's not only precious, but that's a beautiful thing, because there are like earth angels when you don't know what to do, someone that comes and help you. And as a light worker, this is a very important quality to develop. Not only to see beings and auras and talk to aliens, that it isn't the main point. The main point it is to be merciful, to have compassion and patience, and to say, I get it, you screwed up, and that's fine. Without judgment, let's just hold the space for you to know what to do. And if I can do something for someone, sometimes the only thing we need to do is be in silence next to someone that is in a hole, because we have all been there. And when you are in a hole, the last thing you need is someone to tell you what you did wrong. Because you already know that you fucked up, right? You already know that you are in a problem. What you need to know is how to get there. But that comes again with hope and faith. And this is what spirituality gives to us. It allows us to see there's a greater good and there is divine intervention, and I'm proof of it. I swear to you guys, I'm proof of miracles can happen. And then I said to you, God, if I was able to go through all the things I went through and now feel that I'm successful, that I have the life that I had, that I did all of those things by myself, then everyone can do that too, right? When I purchased the first car, for me it was just like, I have my car again after being homeless, and now I own my house, I'm paying for it, but it's mine, right? And I feel like, I got it, I make it. Of course it's small, but it doesn't matter, it's mine. And I was able to have my own place, right? So if you are in a problem, if something you are going through a lot, have hope and faith that you will figure it out, and there are going to be humans there to guide you into whatever direction, like your angels. De nada, espero que te sirva, pero acuérdate que la fe y la esperanza va a ayudarte a abrirte a esa solución que va a venir directamente desde el cielo, okay? And I'm saying just the same thing in Spanish. Faith and hope is what it opens the door for divine intervention. Hi. Have negative energies or any attachment, and how you can transform those into a light? That's an excellent question. And can you help me please? Yes, you're being helped, because always in my transmissions that is here and available if you request. But at the end, I'm gonna do some healing. Look, remember at the beginning of the video that I was saying that when you fight with someone, you open a portal and then you exchange energy, and then and then if you have questions, please type them up here, and I'm gonna do that. And then it doesn't feel good to fight because we destroy each aura. Sometimes you're gonna get attachments that out of the blue are being brought to the surface, and then it feels like someone else has attacked me. But I recently had the realization that it is energy that I have created at some point in some timeline, and it's coming to me to rectify the distortion that I created. Because as a God, something that I see it is that every creation needs to have, like, we know, we're born, we grow, we reproduce, we evolve, we get mature, and then we die, right? At the energy level, it's the same thing. Anything that I have created is going to evolve into something that feels an attachment. But it is because at the moment that it was created, that it could be in this life or on any other, I did not have the capacity to integrate it with ease and flow. The shadow is a very important part of us because it's what made me us. Without my history, what happened to me, I'll be like memory erased. Who are you? I have no idea. Who are your family? I don't remember them. Did you have boyfriends? I know. There are 2 kids that says they're mine, but I don't remember them. They don't even look like me. We will be like, I don't know, sociopaths or something, because without your shadow, you wouldn't be able to develop shame and guilt and sorrow and grief. Imagine if you didn't have your shadow, and then someone said to you, oh my God, my dad just died. And then start crying, and you say, well, he was very old and it was very expensive, the hospital and stuff. He just make you a favor. It will be insensitive, right? But this is how it will be without a shadow. The shadow is what helps us to relate, because maybe I have been there. If someone comes to me and says, my father just died, I will go instantly when my father died, and I will say, oh my God, I'm sorry. Because I will feel the grief through the grief that I have had before, and that is an intimate moment of connection. It's beautiful. When you cry because you're both sad, and you allow yourself to be vulnerable to someone, to see that you're not perfect, and then you have things that make you sad or sorrow or whatever, and then the person holds the space. It's a beautiful thing when we do it, not from the need to fix it, more from the sensitivity to let it be. And sometimes when you cry alone or when someone, after a few minutes, you feel better. But if you don't cry, that will become an entity. Because that part of you that wouldn't be able to grow, to evolve, to reproduce, and to die, going back to the source, will be frozen in time, and that will be attached. Yes? And this is the attachments that we have. The attachments or entities are my own demons, my battles, what makes me sad, what triggers me, what makes me upset, how we can get rid of them by love. I remember that one of my dreams, I started with angels, with Melanie Vector. I'm sure you guys have heard about. I was in her membership for 4 years, I think, and I opened all of my gifts with her angelic meditation. And at the same time, she's very practical. I love her. If you are into angels, and at the same time, Melanie has lots of videos in her YouTube channel that are very practical and helpful. Maybe you guys would like to check her out. You can do a meditation, and then you can clear the energetic shadow from it. But if the intention that created that attachment, it isn't integrated with the knowledge of the feeling and the mindset, we will create those over and over and over. Like, let's say that you said, I want to cut cords with my ex because he was a narcissistic and I'm an empath. Okay, so be it, you cut cords. But you have maybe 10 more days or 15 or 20 with the same person. What about those connections? Okay, so I'm going to do a meditation, so all timelines, I cut them. But from those 10 lives that you had, and 8, you were happy together. And you cut the cords. And then maybe in one timeline, instead of him being the narcissistic, he is an adorable father. And then for something you said, I don't feel connected to you because someone else has cut the cords that we had that was stable. So always do if meant to be and for the highest good, because there are many things we don't know. You can clear that with meditation, with crystal, anything, but you have to be aware. What my guy said to me, it is, you don't release to God, to the source, anything that you don't love. And I was just like, what are you talking about? It doesn't mean that I need to love a narcissistic or someone hurt me. It means that I don't feel triggered by it anymore. I can go and remember, like when I was homeless and that I had cancer that I told you guys about, but I don't bring those feelings that I am powerless anymore, because I don't feel powerless. I feel in my own power. I feel happy. So I don't feel triggered by that. But I can go back and remember it. That I don't go into the wound, because it's no longer a wound. Because in the physical, I transform it into feeling that I can have anything I want. Because if 7 years ago I had nothing, and look all the things I have built, then the world's in my hands. Whatever I want to do, I'm sure I will have it. If that is what something that I want to do. So be aware that our shadow is the foundation for a light to be seen. If these symbols wouldn't have a dark background, you guys wouldn't notice them. Because white, it will be all white. They will fade away. So you put darkness for your light to be seen. But the shadow, it's honored not from darkness, but from the light. Yes? And I'm going to put an example of that. I'm trying to, okay, I'm going to put myself as an example. Okay, I'm looking for something that, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I have been working with my throat since I was born. I normally avoid fighting and going into the shadow, because I'll get a sore throat next day instantly, my whole life. If I fight with someone next day, I'm going to be mute. So I have been working and working and working. After I had COVID attacked me in the breathing part. I couldn't breathe. I was just like, and it was scary. Honestly, it was scary. It was scary because my consciousness knew I wasn't gonna die. And if I die, so be it. It's fun on the other side. But my body was shutting down, and you sort of instinctively enter survival mode or something. So after COVID, I was having voiceless episodes that I couldn't speak. And then I dreamed that I need to take singing classes. So I'm doing my singing classes. And the other day I was singing a mariachi song that it was for heartbreak. But I was doing it very gentle, because my life, in the shadow that I have, to do what I do, I have to be in the fun part of life. I have to do in the creative part, in the inspiration, otherwise I wouldn't be here. So I cannot draw if I'm sad or anything. So my life is always smooth and easy the majority of the time. And if I'm not, I can draw or do anything. I need to find my alignment and go back. So I sort of block ways to go into the shadow. Unconsciously or consciously, I have no idea. So I was singing that mariachi heartbreaking song with, oh, I hate you because you do this for me. And I was like very happy. And my teacher said, whoa, Gretel, no. You have to go into the sadness. So you pull that strength, and then your voice can reach the pitch you want to, because it is a heartbreak song. And I was just like, I was forcing it, and I wouldn't go into the sad part. And then I said, oh, this is no good. This is no good that I wouldn't hold myself, because spirituality says you shouldn't go there, because that's a shadow. You wouldn't be in alignment if you go in. And then I said, okay, no, I should allow myself to honor every feeling, because how beautiful it is when you are remembering a song like those songs from old times, and you feel, and then you remember, I don't know, whatever, and then you tune into that whatever inspiration, and then you live that, at least for the 3 minutes that the song lasts. And then my teacher says, okay, let's do it if you will be upset. And I was just like, upset? What do you mean? I don't like to be upset. I will close. Go like if you were upset. And I wasn't allowing myself to go into those places. And that was my revelation. And then I said, oh, that should not happen. I should give myself permission to go into sad if I want to, because I'm human. And if I have tears, it's for a reason. It must be part of divine order. Wouldn't be, right? And then I said, okay, so I need a safe space to allow myself to go into those shadow part without thinking, okay, I'm gonna damage the aura of my kids or the persons that I love or whatever. So I said, okay, whenever I am in my car, I'm gonna allow myself to get upset if someone drive horribly or whatever. And then I sing when I'm in my car, and I am going singing songs that aren't spiritual at all, that are normal, so I can go in a safe place for me, and then practice being upset and being sad and all of those things, and then notice what I feel. But because it's not something real, it don't affect me. Yes? And this is kind of what life is here. This life is a dream from a dream. That we dream we're waking up from the dream, but in reality we're all in heaven, and this is just like a role play. We take this too seriously. Yes? So my feedback from this year was, my guy said to me in a dream that from the yin and yang symbol, I have like 70% light. And they say, what about this darkness? You're missing 25%, so you have neutrality. And I was just like, is that a bad thing? Yes, you have to be neutrality. What do you want to do with this 25%? And I was just like, I'm going to think about it. So I would allow myself to be in my shadow in another 25% in a space that is safe, so it wouldn't disrupt my balance. So one of those safe spaces to went into my shadow, it was last trip to tequila. I hadn't got tequila after I got my Reiki attunement. It felt like it wasn't right to tequila after Reiki. I felt like it would damage my aura. And I so enjoy it. I got tequila, I didn't get drunk, we went to a club, we danced, we did all things we wanted. It was mead in the group, but I smelled it. It wasn't something that I was driven, so I didn't got mead, but I got whatever thing I wanted in a human form. And it felt good. It felt good not to be worried about what would damage me. Is that the vaccine that has something? Is it the news that is going to hurt me? Is it someone that is toxic? Is it my past? Is it my future? Oh, what am I going to do? Right? And then I said, I can be in charge about what boundary I can move a little bit, but still be responsible for the energy that I was bringing into the world. And while I was in my drawing to tequila, tequila is a town in Mexico that they do tequila. So we went into a resort in a tequila factory that was very awesome because the rooms were like tequila barrels and you had tequila all day, but they explained you the way to drink it in a way you didn't get drunk. They say that for each tequila you needed a little of water, each shot, so your body didn't get dehydrated. That is what you get hangover next day. And then you eat a lot, and then it was beautiful. It was lots of obsidian crystals all around. We were walking to obsidian and crystals, and I was just like, oh, can I take one of those home? I realized that where they do the maguey, that it is the plant where they do the tequila, they have caves of crystals, all kinds of crystals, agate, quartz, but the most expensive one is the obsidian. And then it was beautiful, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed because I didn't want to hold myself because of something says that my energy is going to go lower if I do that. I want to leave. And whenever I died, I want to say yes. I had fun. I like it. A lot of things I didn't know if they were the right thing to do, but I just had the impulse to do them, and then I did my best. So attachments are things we haven't integrated because we are holding ourselves to have that experience. It could be a sexual desire. It could be I don't want to get upset. I don't want to hurt anyone. Sometimes as empaths, we tend to put ourselves lower other people. Because if I tell that person is going to hurt, maybe I want to help people or whatever, but it isn't about that. It isn't about being in the flow. As I said before, sometimes being upset is a sign of sanity because you set boundaries. Sometimes a sign of being in balance is said, cocoon yourself and said, you know what, not for today. But it depends on what you need because you are unique and you have your own unique mission, and I have my own. In my enlightenment journey, I realized that many of the things we believe they are problems or just part of the same illusion. But sometimes spirituality is kind of like a new religion that tells you you do's and you don'ts. And then if you don't do this way, you are wrong. I know more than you because I'm more enlightened. And it isn't like that. It is about truthness. It is about if one day you said, you know what, I can talk about this, I don't feel good, it's fine. But if one day you could say, yeah, speak about your ex, it won't affect me or anything, that's fine too. Go with what feels right for you. But entities aren't enemies. They are sometimes hired by your guides so you learn something. Sometimes they are creations that you did in this life or in any other that now you are ready to rectify and send back to the surface. So my advice is integrate with whatever do not feel right and say, okay, why are you here? Why are we learning? And what do I need to do to get rid of it? It isn't to have entities by your side. I'm not talking about it. I'm not talking about to be in your shadow. Because when we are in a shadow and we want to bring the light gets so diminished that it feels like nothing. And it is like those moments in your life that we feel like in a hole. I have been there, and I'm sure you guys have been there. And we do those things, like we say things like, oh my God, I just lost my work, I don't know how to pay my bills, the economy is such a bad, damn this, damn government, it just, the system, the matrix, I hate it. Things like that. When we do things like that, we're completely in the shadow. It's like no hope, no faith, no nothing for the light to come. But when you are in your shadow and you said, tomorrow will be a good day, tomorrow will be a good day, tomorrow will be a good day, you are still in your shadow because you are saying, now it is a good, now is not a good day. Maybe tomorrow, but today it is not. Yes? I don't know if that makes sense. So if you do affirmations or rituals or anything from the shadow, it is something like, I don't have that, so my love sucks right now, but when I have that, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be perfect and I'm going to feel complete. But now I don't. When we do those things, normally don't work. And we all have those things in our mindset. But when we do things like, okay, I lost my job, I don't know how am I going to pay my bills, and it honestly feels like shit right now. But I know I am in the process of transforming myself, so when things come, I have the money to pay my bills, and I'm figuring out, so I'm going to relax for divine intervention to come, for wisdom, so I can be in my highest and in my best. When we do those things, we are in our light, looking at our shadow, and then holding the shadow into a safe space to come into neutrality. If that makes sense. I don't know if you noticed the way to articulate the same story. If you don't honor what's going through, it's like that fake spirituality, namaste, love and light that you said, world, it's beautiful, it's all beautiful, it's nothing wrong, it's all part of the divine plan. And it isn't like that, because we ignore things that could feel better. Yes, like me, not try to go into sadness. But when you honor the things that do not feel wrong yet, it doesn't mean they will transform and feel better next day. But the way we speak to us, the way we speak to others about us, the way we feel those things is the slight difference between harmony and disharmony. Yes? And if you notice you are saying something like, I felt so fucked up, it means you are in disharmony because you feel it. It feels like block, feels like no hope, right? I've been there many times. And sometimes I catch up myself saying things, oh my God, I feel blocked. But then, bing, right? I notice awareness come, and then I said, okay, yes, I'm honored that. I feel blocked, but after all the things I have come through and all the things I have accomplished, I'm sure I will flow no matter what. So when you do that, you rectify that possible entity, you don't create it, and you open a portal for divine intervention to come by not being hooked by the fact that you feel like you are not flowing where you think you should be. Does that make sense? It's all about awareness. It's all about our presence, and it's all about honoring whatever we feel is going on. And then when we listen to all of our voices, then we can be inspired action. Because if someone says to me, this is something, I heard that something 2 years ago when it was pandemic. Oh my God, pandemic, COVID is just fucking this country. I lost my work, I don't have money. All what I do is just watch Netflix 24 hours a day in my sofa, and then I go outside every time a bill comes. It's just such a horrible. And then I'd say, and what are you doing? Well, I'm just waiting because I'm not going to go to work by using a mask. I'm gonna wait for the restrictions to be out. I'm not going to suffocate myself with a mask. In that moment, for example, we're making a choice. I will honor what I believe, or I will surrender to what others think I should do. This is all about our choice. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm saying that when we are aware about what choices we're making, we have a broader wisdom and perception to choose the ones that fit for us. I know people that started business in quarantine like me. I quit my job, thank God, the job that I had, and the page grew in a way that I never expected. My yoga teacher, she opened during quarantine and she's doing lots of money. There are businesses that open in quarantine, like in a restaurant delivery type, kind of like Uber thing, that they weren't successful because people couldn't go to restaurants. So it is good to honor what feels like a problem and then find a way for inspiration to come, and then be that inspired action that makes a difference. So you are the different projection of what a light worker could do with all of the things in our world that should not happen, like wear with a mask, right? I wouldn't, it would feel like suffocating. I completely understand that. Sometimes I said to my kids, oh my God, you have to be all of those hours with a mask in school. It shouldn't happen. In Mexico, I travel, and we're one of the few states that you still have to wear the mask. You go to everywhere, when in other states, they don't use it anymore. For some reason, I have no idea why. But to find that alignment, that you have that unique mission and purpose that you need to do. We're going to go for seasons. Seasons are to go within, to restructure, to recalibrate, and it is where life feels like a dark night of the shadow because it requires extra effort. Like for example, for me, for 2 years, I had 2 jobs, Encoded Frequency and the office that I was working, with no day off. It was tiring, it was. But if I wouldn't be able to do that for 2 years, I wouldn't be able to be here right now. I needed to have that extra job so I would build a foundation, so I would be right now doing this, 24/7, and then leave the office. So there are some times in our life that we choose to go through the hard path, but it shouldn't be your whole life. It should be temporary, like everything. Spring is temporary, winter. Every season is going to leave you something. And normally, what I learned from my last horrible night of the show, when I got homeless, and I got sick, that I had no money at all, I learned that I got this. I learned that I was like the phoenix, so I could allow myself to die and reborn again. And it shifted the perception into I am strong, because before that I thought I was weak. But after going through that, I said, no, I'm a badass. I got this. And if I did it, everyone can. And everyone can do that. But our mind, when it is in the alignment to uplift us, oh my God, it's a huge difference. But we only can be aware when we listen to what's happening to us. And I know some things don't make sense, guys, in the physical, but if exists in this reality is for a reason. For example, flies. I have no idea why, as God, we create cockroaches and flies. They are annoying, but they are there for a reason. Maybe the reason is for us to learn to be patient. Or maybe they represent that we should clear our energy or our house or something. I have no idea. Because we don't know all the answers. All I have is the piece of me, and each of you have the piece of God in you. But when we put all this together, I'm going back to community, is what my guys are insistent. Community help us to be truth and vulnerable, as empathic and light workers, whether we think we're starseeds or not, or just all souls, and help each other in whatever way we can. Because otherwise, for me, I wouldn't get through being homeless without my family and the persons that gave me job when I didn't have any experience on it. With the little English that I had, the one who hired me that says, don't worry, we're gonna train you and you're gonna get better. Because my English was barely in the level that the management required to be hired. But that person from HR that hired me was right. I got better and better and better and better. And every day I got better. There are still things that I don't know what to do, but it doesn't matter. It matters that I'm flowing. And if you are in a moment in your life that you feel you are stuck, that there's a lot of things going on, whatever works out for you, whatever it is, that hook, that anchor the light into the mindset that you got this, do that more and more and more. If that's meditation, then meditate. If that's yoga, then yoga. If that's singing, then go and sing. If that's going out of the park, then go and do that. Learn to know yourself. And this is what true spirituality it is. It isn't about what it is the difference between all of us. It is about what makes us one. As a humanity and as a source that we are all connected, okay? And with that, I would like to do a healing transmission just for whatever you guys need. Maybe will come some wisdom. If I couldn't answer whatever you wanted to know, if you disagree with something that I said, that's fine. Honor what comes through you, and if through you it came a different definition, then embrace that. Remember, I want to encode frequency. This is my dream, that it is a community that we can all grow, learn, and keep spreading seeds of light and love together in whatever way it is. The page is going to evolve into a community, and then I'm going to have some place in the physical. At some point, things are going to change. I'm not going to go into that detail, but the first community we have right now, it is meditation morning and afternoon. If Facebook muted for some reason, you guys can go into my YouTube channel or someone else's YouTube channel and meditate and then connect to your intuition. If you would like to join the Facebook groups, I do have one in Spanish and one that is for everyone. So you guys can share your own stuff, questions, and then help each other. Maybe there is something that I don't know that someone else know better, and it is about learning to create community. Community where we can speak what feels our truth. Community where I can ask, this is happening to me, I don't know what to do. Community where we can innovate and be the inspired action, transforming this reality into the new earth that we are all eager and expecting to be that soon. And meanwhile, if you have any other question or any other intention that you would like to create, I move a little bit. Just breathe. And this is going to be our own higher self coming through. Alright? Yes. And higher self says today to interiorize that feeling about where I am. Vaki eteko sokorobare ki arakate eshkite eseko ki eshka. So higher self will open a vortex or gateway through wherever part of your energy that's weakening today. Vaki etako sorobare ki eshteko sova ki eshtek haravasa ki eteka ashtek ki eseki eshte base ki eshka. You may have 2 or 3 gateways for light to be streamed, or just one. Kiarasa korobare eki ateka saba ki eteki araka ashke vaisa koshka. So higher self right now would like you to just pay attention to the parts of your body that maybe feel uncomfortable or like thickening or heavy, or any sort of physical sensation. Kira korovare tine asa kira ka ashka ba iki itikia sakore ashka te iseki ashka. Now, as you go within, notice while you breathe in and out, as if we are in a time capsule, and then all the world inside of you will just disappear. And as you breathe, imagine that you go deeper and deeper into yourself, like you are opening doors. Vai kia takasova, kia teki ashka saba, ikiara korobari, nihe sahaba kia te kiara soko ashka, vi ni ate ashka sekova, iki ishta, iki ashka. And then at the end, you're gonna see yourself inside of a stream of light. At this point, anything that you think or feel is going to be part of your message. For me, the light was indigo. What color it is the one that you are seeing right now? Vea kia dasa korovare ki ishte, ba mi iti esekote ishkita asa koria ba, ki ete ki arakoro kati eshka. Go deeper and deeper and deeper. If there is any attachment, any energy that doesn't belong to be connected to you, for the highest and best, from the greatest of all, in the rightful way and in the harmony of the whole, is going to be pulled out through the frequency of love, restore, recalibrate, reset, and then transform. Baba kiesa kuti este kova, kuti kiesa korava, kiere sare ki este yakamai, kiri kiera kosova ki este iki eskate isaka ashka. So now, Herself would like for you to open your third eye. Actually, ask if you will see a physical eye and see an eye in your imagination. And now that eye is going to change into a screen. Now, we're going to ask that your light aura chakras, vortices, the portals that you have opened are being revealed to you. And that will happen now. And you'll use your imagination. Kete kiera kosova kete eshke sako. Itia karava kiete seko shekeva kete asakori ki ashkete kori ki eshka. The great good about light language it inactivates your mind for your true essence come through. If the image it wasn't clear or you second guess, then you have a confirmation being mirrored at you through your own screen with your eyes closed, and that will happen now. Just observe and shift into receiving mood. And now you can ask whatever question you have to your higher self through your own intuition. And you can do that now. You can ask another question, and now the answer will come through. What would my higher self advise me right now? And let it come through. And now you're going to see in your screen your symptom. Whatever you have been doing consciously or unconsciously that has been blocking your flowing from the highest alignment that you can have. And that could be represented like in an entity, but if it's an entity, it will have a name. Anger, impatient, hopeless, insecurity, unworthiness, or anything. Maybe you have more than one. So just observe, how many do you see? And what are their names? All of those names or symptoms that you saw are going to disappear into the light. Ba iki ete eki ashka sakoba iki este seki araba iki ashka. It may seem like you have like a ball of light in your hands, and that ball of light represents solution. And if you see through, you are going to see in your mind imagination screen what is the solution for whatever we just clear right now, so it will grow again. If there's any question, if it wasn't clear, it's going to be shown to you what higher self suggests and advises right now for you. Ba ikiata sekoro vare eki iti eske vakite aseko kiche ki ava se eki ete ashka ki ene eseki ete koro vare ki eska. If there is anything that you see right now when you look inside of you, that you see you have stones, hooks, holes, wherever you see, you just are going to notice, and will notice 1, 2, 3, 4, none. They're going to disappear into the light, with the intention that unconditional love is being allowed into all aspects of you across time and space, in the highest and best, and only if it was your divine order, the most rightful one and harmonious one, that at the same time benefits the divine order of all. And now, in whatever way you go around, you may see like you are at 3, you may see like you have a compass with the north, the south, the east, and the west. And we're going to add the elements of Gaia, air, fire, water, and earth. And we're going to bring in you higher self and Lord, whatever you need right now to invalidate that symptom from being grown again, and instilling the capacity and definition from your source to have the definition of that solution that's being suggested. Only it feels right for you. And that's going to be anchored into the consciousness of Gaia for anyone else to receive it, if that's meant to be, and for the highest good. And with that, this is complete. Oh, that was good. It was good. I hope you guys appreciate it. I appreciate all of your comments and your time and your space. Remember, we're all in this together. In whatever way you could do community. It could be in physical, it could be online. That community is going to make the difference in however future unfolds. We are still deciding. There are many different goings, predictions that are still colliding, and we're still choosing what we want to experience. But remember that the choice will take us 1 or 2 seconds between harmony and disharmony is that awareness into what is happening, what I am learning right now, and how I can transform it. Yes? Not only through meditation, but through inspired action in the physical. Not forcing it things to be the way I feel they should be, but more like proactive solution. And it may not make sense right now, but in future years to come, it will. We are in the age of 3 years of a huge transformation, especially collectively. A lot of people is going to be pushed to wake up, and it's going to be easier for them because we already have been through those steps to show them our ways, the way we find that stability, the way we find that connection, the way we discover maybe where's Narcisse, or also how we have been able to figure out in our own experience. And then Gaia is going to shift in many aspects, in many directions, deconstruction of a lot of systems like our economy, like our government, like our health department, the education that we give to our kids is going to be transformed in between 1 or 2 decades. It depends on how we do it. But without community, it's going to be, how do I say that? Okay, community is going to make easier for us because maybe I will know how to create a new education system. Maybe my friends will know how we can help the economy. Maybe someone else will know how to heal. And this is how we put all of the pieces together towards where we want to go, that it is that new earth that it feels that is going to be the final destination, but it isn't. Every day it's a piece of a taste of that journey going not near earth, going home, but home is right here, and our hearts, and that heaven or that new earth is where life was good. Maybe watching Netflix, maybe doing something with the persons you love, maybe meditation. And hell feels when I don't know what to do, I feel stuck, I feel like with my own demons. And the difference is all in how we flow, how we do, how our mindset it is, in the right moment, in the right way, aligned with all that we could be. I hope you find this video helpful. Always take whatever that worked hard for you and disregard the rest. In July, we're gonna start a course in Spanish, so this I'm gonna say in Spanish. El 7/7 empieza un diplomado en español de lenguaje de la luz, y también he sido invitada a participar en una conferencia que habla del proyecto del alma, y va a ser a través de mi canal de televisión y es gratis. El 20, el 21 y el 22 voy a pasar información en mi correo. And for all you guys, remember we have the healing services right here. Friday is going to be for you guys to ask questions whenever Friday I can. You guys just can check the calendar for the page, and then there are changes that come for us. Meanwhile, do your best, do your enough. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rest of your